Welcome, scholars. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of review on multiplicative comparisons. I'm looking at standard 4.OA.1. And as a reminder, I wanted to show you guys the anchor chart, or I guess the reference page that we have been using to sort of help us understand some buzzwords that we might see in word problems. It will help us understand the operation that we're going to be using to solve. So let's look at our multiplication column for right now to look at some of those buzzwords that we're actually going to see in some of our word problems in our practice today. Words like twice and thrice, which means 2 times or 3 times the number. Words like doubled, which basically means I'm taking the number and I'm adding it twice. Words like 6 2s or 3 5s, which means I'm taking 2 and I'm adding it 6 times. And 3 5s, which means I'm taking 5 and I'm adding it 3 times. Scholars, these are all buzzwords that tell us that we're going to be using multiplication in order to solve. So scholars, let's look at our first problem. And we're actually going to work through this problem together. So in this problem, it says Gina and her brother Sean are saving money to go to an amusement park. This month, Gina saved 3 times as much as she saved last month. And Sean saved twice as much as he saved last month. Last month, Gina saved $12 and Sean saved $10. So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to look for some buzzwords. Gina and her brother Sean are saving money to go on an amusement park. I don't see any buzzwords there, so I'm going to keep reading. This month, Gina saved 3 times as much. Uh-oh, there goes a buzzword. 3 times as much as she saved last month. And Sean saved twice as much as he saved last month. So now that I know what my buzzwords are, I know that I'm going to be multiplying. So if Gina saved $12 last month and she saved 3 times as much this month, I know that I'm starting with 12 and I'm multiplying it by 3 because she saved 3 times as much. Now let's see how much Sean saved. Sean started out last month with $10, or he saved $10 last month. And this month he saved twice as much. So twice as much means I'm multiplying by 2. So Gina saved 12 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. So Gina saved $36 this month. Sean saved 10 times 2. 0 times 2 is 0. 2 times 1 is 2. So Sean saved $20 this month. Scholars, we're going to continue practicing with different problems just so that we get more practice and more multiple at-bats in order to be successful in this standard. So let's look at this set of problems. It says Student Council President Cheryl collected 48 aluminum cans for recycling during the month of May. She collected 4 times as many cans as Vice President Mike. Now let's read this again, looking for some buzzwords to tell me which operation I'm going to perform. Student Council President Cheryl collected 48 aluminum cans for recycling during the month of May. She collected 4 times as many, there goes a buzzword, 4 times as many cans as Vice President Mike. So, I know that she collected 4 times as many cans as Mike, and altogether she had 48 cans. So I know that whatever my equation is to tell me how many cans Mike collected, I know I'm multiplying it by 4. So if Cheryl collected 48 cans, 48 equals 4 times blank. So I can actually solve this two ways. I can divide or I can multiply. I can multiply by continuing to find a number that I can multiply 4 by to get to 48, or I can use long division to solve. So 4 goes into 4 one time. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. Bring it on down and bring it on back. Divide, 4 goes into 8 2 times. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract, 8 minus 8 is 0. So 4 times 12 would give me the amount that Cheryl collected, which is 48. So I know that since Cheryl collected 4 times as many cans as Mike collected 12 cans. Number 1, it costs $500 to take a bus tour of Europe. This is 4 times, there goes a buzzword, as much as it costs to take a bus tour of Mexico City. How much is the tour of Mexico City? Well, I know altogether it costs $500 to take a bus tour of Europe. If this is 4 times the amount of Mexico City, I know that I'm going to need to divide in order to determine how much the bus tour is for Mexico City. I can also multiply 4 times something to get me to 500. So I know that in order to find that missing part, I'm going to have to divide. So I'm going to show my work on the side using long division. And I'm going to divide, multiply, and subtract. Bring it on down and bring it on back. Divide, 4 goes into 5 one time. 4 times 1 is 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. Bring down my 0. 4 goes into 10 2 times. 4 times 2 is 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. Bring down my 0. 4 goes into 20 5 times. 4 times 5 is 20. And 20 minus 20 is 0. So I know that the bus tour for Mexico City is going to cost $125. I did this by dividing 500 into 4 equal groups, and I got 125. Or 4 times, I can now erase that question mark. 4 times 125 equals 500. Scholars, let's do one more problem. There are 256 students outside on the playground. This is 8 times as many students as there are inside the cafeteria. How many students are inside the cafeteria? Well, I have 256 students altogether, and they're telling me that this is 8 times as many students as there are in the cafeteria. So I know that I'm going to be multiplying 8 by a special number. I don't know what that number is just yet. So I'm going to do the opposite of multiplication, and I'm going to actually divide using long division again. I'm dividing 256 by 8. 8 cannot go into 2, but it can go into 25. It goes into 25 3 times. 8 times 3 is 24. 25 minus 24 is 1. Bring down my 6. 8 goes into 16 2 times. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 minus 16 is 0. So I know that the division sentence I'm using to solve is 256 divided by 8, and I get 32. So there were 32 students inside of the cafeteria. I can also now erase that question mark, and I'm left with 8 times 32. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video on multiplicative comparisons. I really hope that this video was helpful in understanding how to utilize those buzzwords to help you be successful in word problems.